Welcome everyone to the eMedica AKT Pass Guarantee Program. This is the orientation for the 150-day program for April 2025 exams. So the purpose of the webinar today is a chance for you to meet the team, understand how does the Pass Guarantee Program work, how do you go about completing your daily tasks, submitting your weekly tasks, a chance to ask any questions that you'd like answered. So use the chat as you've been doing for comments and discussion. If you've got a question that you'd like myself or the faculty to answer, please use the Q&A for that rather than the chat. And joining me this evening in the faculty from the core eMedica team, we have Anna Greathead and Masooda Rahman. So I'll introduce you to the rest of the team in a minute. But before we get into it, a really important message that the journey of 1,000 miles begins with a single step. This is attributed to Lao Tzu, a Chinese philosopher. And it can seem like conquering AKT is a huge journey because it's such a large curriculum. A lot of doctors find it overwhelming. They just don't know where to start. So the first thing I want to say is, thank you for trusting our team and taking that first step, because it's really, really important. Now, it's important to understand that while it begins with a single step, it's still 1,000 miles. So there's still a lot of hard work between now and the exam in 5 months' time, in 150 days' time, okay? But once you join a structured program like this, you don't have to worry about how will I cover the curriculum? What should I study today? All you have to worry about is one step at a time. So, we're here. You'll have a clear plan. When you get the first email, just do the work before the next email comes, okay? Then when you get the next one, just focus on one step at a time and we will guide you and support you and help you all the way. So you can't take away that it's still hard work because the curriculum's still huge. The exam's still challenging, okay? But by having support, by having mentors, by having someone to guide you, it can speed up that journey. And so thank you for putting your trust in our team and well done on taking that first step. So for those that haven't met me before, I'll introduce myself and introduce the other team members, the faculty today. So my name is Mohibur Rahman. I'm a portfolio GP. So that means I'm a GP with multiple roles. So I'm a partner in my own practice. I covered for the last 7 years. I was one of the senior GPs at a secure unit for women with significant mental health illness. I've just finished that role. I now cover 2 community detox units, and I've held various other clinical roles. My main role now is in education though. So as medical director of eMedica, I design, develop programs, I mentor people, I help support not just trainees, but we also work with deaneries, with trainers to help people get through their exams. I did my own GP training in Neath Talbot in South Wales, and I passed my MRCGP with merits back in 2007, and I got FRCGP in 2019 for my work in medical education and humanitarian medicine. I'm one of the authors of the Prescribing Safety Assessment, written various books, articles, study guides on MRCGP, AKT, previously CSA, RCA, and most recently SCA. I was an examiner and invigilator for the GMC, and I continue to be on the examiner panel for Liverpool Medical School for finals, and I sit on the NICE GP reference panel. So let me introduce you to the core members of the team that will be supporting you throughout your journey. So we've got Masooda Rahman, who's Director of E-Learning at eMedica. She'll be faculty for all the courses and all the webinars. So let me just ask Masooda to say a few words.
So welcome everybody to the Pass Guarantee Program. We are going to be spending a lot of time together over the next 5 months. And I'm always surprised, and you'll find that you're quite surprised how quickly we become part of your daily routine, how quickly those good study habits are going to be embedded, and how quickly you'll start feeling your knowledge base start to grow. Now, we may not be seeing you face to face, but we will be seeing your work come in every day. We're going to be seeing you online for the webinars. You'll be surprised how quickly we get to know each of you and get a feel for who you are through your interactions on the webinars. And what I'd like to say to everybody as we're starting is to reiterate what Dr. Rahman said earlier, that it may not be easy because good learning takes effort. And sometimes what feels the hardest when you're in it is actually what you're going to look back on as the time when you were learning the most. We want you to remember, please, that you're not alone for any part of this. We're all here to support you. So get involved in your study group, ask questions on the webinars, email us. That's what we're here for. We're going to be watching your progress every day, right up into the exam. We're going to be thinking of you on the day. We're going to be waiting with you on the edge of our seats for those results. Whatever happens, you're not alone. We're all here. Good luck, everybody.
Thank you very much, Mr. And I hand you over to Anna Greathead now, who's also a core member of the eMedica e-learning team and will be faculty for courses and webinars throughout. And Anna is also the main admin for the WhatsApp group. We have a WhatsApp group specifically for your cohort, okay, for the 150-day program for April exams. I hand you over.
Hello, welcome to the Paths Guarantee programme, as Masuda has just said to you. We've been doing this for some time now, and we've really learned some things about what works and how it works for you and how you can best get the most out of this program. And I have three things I always say to people right at the beginning. I say, commit to the program. The program is intense and there's a lot to do. And it's difficult. If you fall behind, it's difficult to catch up because it keeps on coming in. It's very steady every couple of days, and then towards the end every day, work keeps coming in. And the way you learn it is by repeating, commit to it. Think, I know I'm tired, but I'm just going to finish off that quiz. Or I'd really like to watch this TV show, but I'm going to look at my case cards first. Commit, and the learning will just stack up along with the hours. Also, be organised. There's a lot of time wasted in thinking, I can't remember whether I did that quiz or not, or, oh, there was that really useful link and I wanted to review it. Where was it? Don't be the sort of person who spends an hour looking for the thing they had yesterday. Have a good archiving system, have a special folder to put your emails in, so that you can be really organised and not waste any time on that sort of admin. And then finally, trust the process. It is a challenging programme and it's designed to help you learn, which means right at the beginning, you will often get scores that are lower than those that you're accustomed to getting. This is because you are learning things. Try and have a mindset that thinks every time you get a question wrong, it's an opportunity to learn some new knowledge, get some really good exam technique, and every question you get wrong is actually a step closer to having all of the knowledge you need to actually smash the exam. Really looking forward to working with you, and good luck as you embark on this programme.
Thank you very much, Anna. And so let me introduce you to other members of the team that you might have already had emails from, or who might be sending things to you, or who will do things like process the video and do all of the other things that make the whole program run efficiently and effectively. You know, we couldn't do this without the huge team that's there to support all of you. So Selina Begum, Tuba Jamil, Jubaida Khatun, Rabia Hussein, Laura Smith, Rebecca Begum. You may get correspondence, or if you send an email to the office, you might get a reply to them, or some of them will have posted out the boxes to you. We'll process the videos for this session and all of the live sessions. Okay. So let me explain how the program works. So you've joined the 150-day program. So the good thing about that is it means that your learning can be spread out over 5 months. So from when we start, which is this weekend, first email will start coming on Sunday. You'll get an email about 5 o'clock in the morning. For the first 4 months of the 150-day program, it's every other day. And then the last month, we have to step up the intensity, is every single day. So that first 4 months, what that means is you can try to get the work done that first day. And if you do, great. The second day, you can read over some of the things that you learned. You can revise some of the areas that you found challenging. Or it gives that flexibility that if you can't get everything done on the first day, you try and do what you can the first day, and you can leave a little bit over to the second day. All right. That last month, though, every single day, you're going to have to put the work in. So that email will contain links to your daily tasks. So that will include a question of the day and associated reading, a set of online revision questions or more if it's a weekend, daily reading tasks. And you've got to get all of the daily tasks done before the next email hits. So the first 4 months, that means you've got to get it done within 48 hours. The last month, you've got to get it done within 24 hours. Alongside the daily tasks, you have weekly tasks, which are different each week. So we exposed lots of different types of learning. There'll be some videos to watch with e-learning that either we've developed or that we have curated because it's of high standard and linked to the curriculum. And then there might be some questions to test that you've learned the things in those videos. There might be some research exercises, different questions from the RCGP self-test, RCGP knowledge challenges. All right. So those ones, they'll have a specific deadline, and I'll show you how you submit those. And you've got to get those done by the deadline mentioned for those weekly tasks. it's important that you keep on top of things, but it's also important because it's a long journey, enjoy the little wins. So you've got within your welcome pack, you'll see a daily progress tracker. I recommend that you put this somewhere visible, a notice board, somewhere near where you're going to study so that you can see each day. Okay, so you've got your daily progress tracker. Okay, tick off as you finish all of the daily tasks in email number 1. All right, remember you've got up to 48 hours for that first 4 month studies. Okay, you can see once you get here, I'm getting there, I'm making progress. You're here, half your sheet is full of ticks, you're halfway there. You're here, you're more than 2/3 done. And when you see just the night before the exam, you see this full page full of ticks, it's going to give you a lot of confidence because you know how much work you will have done. Similarly, there's a curriculum checklist. Looks like this. It's 36 pages of A5. And what we've done is we've taken the sort of 600 or so topics from the curriculum that are absolutely key to covering the clinical domain, the stats and evidence interpretation domain, and the admin domain. Again, as you start, it's empty. But as you feel, okay, I've learned the keys in this topic, tick it off. The night before the exam, you're going to look back at this and physically the whole thing is full of ticks. It's going to make you go in knowing I've done it. I know my stuff. I've put the work in. Okay. And it's going to help you. And then be familiar with the structure of the email. I'm going to show you that from top to bottom. But one thing I want to highlight, because a really, really important part is integral throughout the whole program, is the resources page. At the bottom of every email that you get from me, there will be this green button just above our logo at the bottom that says resources page. When you click that, it will take you to the resources page for your specific cohort. So it's got links to key resources. It's got links to frequently asked questions about the program. But every time we do a live session, as soon as that's processed, which for the shorter ones like this will be within a few days, for the full day courses, it can take up to a week, it will automatically appear. So when you click this button, it'll go to a page like this. So at the moment, when you start, you'll just see these links because we won't have done any of the live sessions, okay? After the orientation is done, you'll be able to click to see this. But once we've done High Yield Webinar 1, which will happen after you're into the program, sort of 7 emails deep, okay? We'll do a live session, about an hour and a bit in the evening. Shortly after that's done, you'll be able to click that to watch the video. You'll be able to click this to download the teaching slides. Shortly after you do High Yield Webinar 2, a video will appear. Shortly after you do the full day AKT course, video links will appear to all the modules, okay? So be familiar with that resources page. It's this button here, okay? Right, let me show you how we go through an email top to bottom. But before that, something really important. Please don't unsubscribe from the list. And that's because as part of good email governance, for us to keep a good reputation with the different email providers, we have to follow best practice for data protection. So one of those things is that if someone genuinely doesn't want to receive email from us, we should make it easy for them to unsubscribe. So we do 2 things. At the bottom of every email, there's an explanation that why you're getting this email from us, because you're part of the program. If you don't want to receive the emails, you want to leave the program, you can click this to unsubscribe. And then we also have a 1-click unsubscribe, because what this helps is if you make it really easy, if someone genuinely wants to not get emails from you, this shows that you are someone that takes data protection seriously. All right, and we do. So if you click that, you won't get any more emails from us. Now, we won't know unless you tell us. So if you do it by mistake, it can happen, okay? Let us know and we'll add you back. But please try not to do it. Why? Because if you do it too many times, even if it was an error, what happens is the email providers see someone's unsubscribed from a list and they've been re-added back quite soon afterward, and it's happened again. This seems like it might be dodgy behavior. Then sometimes your email will become blacklisted and we won't be able to, like, we could send you the email, you just will never receive it. We won't be able to add you back on the list because the system won't allow it, okay? So please do not unsubscribe. So don't click this button. Don't click this button unless you don't want to get emails from us anymore. Okay. So let me show you what the email looks like and how to go through it from top to bottom. Okay. So as I mentioned, the first 4 months, you're going to get emails every other day, right? Okay. So you'll actually get the first email the day before we start. And that's because that's a welcome email. And that's just showing you, I'll show you the welcome email. It looks like this. It will just really give you a link to watch the video of this session in case you wanted to go over it again, and a link to join the WhatsApp group for your specific cohort, okay? And then a link to the resources page, all right? When you get the next email, that's when the program actually starts. So if I show you how that works, so day one, okay, again, there'll be a link to the orientation video and a link to the WhatsApp group. These are only there on the welcome and the day one. After that, they won't be there again. But essentially, start at the top, work your way down. When it's a weekend, you get 2 questions of the day and 2 sets of online questions. When it's a weekday, you get 1. So click the first question, put in your email, use the same email every time. Now, I'm going to use the eMedica one. This is the core email that you should use if you've got any queries, if you need any support for anything. This is the main inbox, okay? So info@emedica.co.uk. So you read the question, answer it, click next, see if you got it right or wrong, read the explanation, and then there'll be a link where you can read up further about it from the NICE website, okay? i.e. official sources, up-to-date information, right? Do the same for the question about hypertension. Then here, when you click the online revision, the first time you do, you need to log in. So again, I'm just going to show you. Once you log in, it will take you to the particular questions. So you can see this was cardiovascular 1, okay? Once you click start, again, we'll ask you to put your name. I'll put mine, and I'll put info@emedica. You're going to put yours. Use the same email throughout, please. And then you're going to have a set of 20 questions. So answer a question, read the explanation, okay? Move on, work your way through, okay? When you get to question 20 and you answer it, it will automatically send us which ones you got right, which ones you got wrong, and we'll track all that data. So we build a database. By the time we get towards the last part of the program, you will each receive an individualized targeted revision plan. So we'll base it on, these are the areas you need more work on. So some of you might get additional work in neurology. Others might do really well in neurology, and maybe you need additional work in pediatrics and child health, and so on, okay? So once you've done that, and you've done the second set of questions, you've got your case cards. So if you've got your physical case cards with you, then you can just read the ones that you need, number 1 and number 2, they're all numbered. If you haven't, once you log in, you'll be able to access the digital case cards. So you could have a look at the ones that you need to read. Let's say your card's at home and you're on the ward and you're trying to do this at lunchtime. So read through number 1, number 2, okay? That's the first ones that I'm going to do. Then you've got your reading. So again, these are from official sources. Some days there'll be maybe only 1 or 2 because there might be ones that are going to take a bit longer. Other days, there might be more than that because they're shorter ones. So that's your daily task. All of those, as soon as you do them, they automatically submit to us, okay? The weekly tasks are different each week, okay? So when you click that, it will explain what to do. You can download it, read up. But when you're going to submit it and you finished it, you click this button, put your name, put your email, upload the file that's complete now, and submit it to us, all right? And then there's a reminder, the first live session, for example, Higher Revision Webinar 1, 10th of December, and the time. So, make sure you've got those all in your calendar. They're all in your timetable anyway, all right, which you can also access from the resources page. So if I was to click the resources page, you can see at the moment, your resources page just has all of those things. But for example, you've got the curriculum guide, you've got your timetables there in case you haven't got your printed one in front of you. You can see there's no videos here yet because we haven't done any. But as the live sessions happen, the videos will appear here, okay? And that's how you sort of go through from the top downwards, okay? So on a weekend, there's slightly more. On a weekday, if I show you a weekday one, and then we'll be complete. On a weekday one, you can see there'll be 1 question of the day, 1 online revision section, still case cards, still reading to do, and you can see the research tasks have got a set date by which you've got to get it done, okay? Again, reminder, again, your resources page, all right? So that's how it works. Start at the top, work your way down. The daily tasks have to be done before you get the next email. The weekly tasks have to be done by the deadline that's listed in the email for that particular weekly task, all right? And those are specific. So that's how it works. So if you've got any questions, please ask that in the Q&A. What I'm going to do is I'm going to, for those that haven't got questions, give you some really important keys to success and some tips. And then those that haven't got questions, you can head off. Those that have, the team will be picking those up even before I get to it, and I'll clear any that are left. So really 3 key things that are going to help you to succeed in your preparation, to succeed in your exam, to succeed in the rest of your training, and to succeed in your career, actually. So the first is mindset matters. Michael Corder said, to succeed, we must first believe that we can. This is really, really important. Sometimes people join this program because maybe they've tried preparing on their own, they've struggled, maybe they've already taken it a few times and not managed to pass. Now, with that can come some baggage, some fear about how to prepare, fear about the exam. Others, they're coming because they're worried about it. They've heard from colleagues, who've had challenges. Whatever reason you've joined the program, from now, your mindset needs to be, I can pass this exam. I know it's hard, but I have all the support I need, and I have a program. I'm going to do the work, and therefore I will succeed. Okay, that you have to have that in your mind, that you can pass, you will pass, but that it's not easy. So therefore you're going to do the work. Why is this so important? Because if that's your attitude, when you find a subject hard, you'll work towards it. If you get some questions wrong, you see that as a learning opportunity. Whereas if your mindset is, this exam is impossible, I'll never pass, the minute you struggle with a subject, you won't want to read it. The minute you get a few questions wrong, your score isn't great. You focus on the score, not on the work, and you go into a spiral. Your brain actually shuts down and won't take on board the learning. It becomes a block to you, and it becomes a self-fulfilling prophecy. So you need to have right from now that you're going to pass this exam. The next is to reiterate what Masood and Anna said, be consistent. All right, you've got to find your own rhythm and find a way that you can make sure you get the work done. Now, that will need you to make some sacrifices. All right. Sometimes, like, I love learning, right? But sometimes learning, when you're tired, you don't want to do it, all right? But you've got to. It's like if you're training for something. If you're training for a marathon and it's rainy, you might not want to run, but you want to build up your distances, you're going to have to put the work in, all right? So this is the same. You're going to have to put the work in. It's really hard. If you're scared of hard work, this just isn't the program for you, all right? Because while we're here to support you, you've still got to go 1,000 miles, right? So you've got to put the hours in. You've got to do the reading, do the daily tasks, do the weekly tasks. Be organized about how you're going to get your daily tasks done. If you can get it done on the first day, that's great. And the second day, don't think, oh, I've got a day off. There are no days off. The second day is a chance for you to maybe go over some topics or look at the ones that you got wrong, read up on those topics in a bit more detail. If you have got a really busy day and you can't get it, well, the flexibility of this program is the first 4 months you have got until the second day. You still want to try to get it, most of it done the first day, so you're finishing some things off. Don't leave any day where you don't do any learning at all. All right. And then weekly tasks, don't feel, oh, I've got to do it the first day, because then you'll be overwhelmed. But equally, don't always leave it until the very last day and then rush it and you miss out on the learning. They've been designed for you to engage in them properly so that you can actually embed that learning and it goes into your long-term memory. Okay. Finally, focus on the learning, not your scores. We deliberately have high challenge questions in our question bank on our courses and webinars because there's a science behind it. Your brain remembers better those things that you associate actually with a failure. So by having a hard question that you get wrong, then you learn why you got it wrong. You understand it, goes into your long-term memory. It's called negative recall bias. It's one of the reasons why people often come out of the exam and they remember the 5 or 6 that they really struggled with. They'd forget the 100 and something that they answered quite straightforward for them because they'd done the work at that stage. Okay, so don't worry about your scores. Most of you will get most of our questions of the day wrong. They're hard questions for a big chunk of the program. Many of you, throughout the bulk of the program, you won't get fantastic scores in our questions. They're hard questions. They're there for learning tools. Okay, so these are to stimulate you to learn and to understand and to remember. So again, this goes back to mindset. If you have a growth mindset, when you get a question wrong, you see, oh, that's an opportunity for me to learn. I'm glad that I got this wrong now. Now I can understand why, and then I won't get it wrong in the exam. Whereas if you have a fixed mindset, also sometimes described as a negative mindset, when you get something wrong, you say, oh, I can't pass this exam, it's too hard. You're not going to learn. It becomes a block to you. Okay, so to recap, Mindset matters. Have a positive mindset that you're going to pass, but that requires hard work, and you're going to put that work in. Be consistent. Work hard every day. Be organized and focus on the learning, not your scores. If you do that and you do the work, you will be prepared, and come the exam, you'll be ready. You will succeed. Okay. So just before I go through the questions, I really want to check, because it just happens today that we've got orientation for the April program, but the results came out for the October program. Okay. And we always send out an email just to, check in on the team and the cohort and see how they're getting on. But if you have a look at this email, okay, at the time I took the screenshot, it had come in, 51 minutes ago. Like at the moment now, it's came in just before 7, and we're now coming up to 8:30. Okay. So these are just today, someone got results. So they sat the October exam. They found it really helpful. They liked the structure. Okay. The webinars helped them to consolidate knowledge. The WhatsApp group did its job. That it's an added support. You've got your peer support. You can always ask questions, and the team will be checking in on it. I've just taken out their name for data protection and anonymity, but I've left the rest. But the fact that they now already planning to trust us for SCA, hopefully that says something about it. And this is someone really busy, 2 kids, less than full time, and that's one of the reasons they joined something that gave them structure. Okay, here's another one. This is someone who had not passed in the past. They're resitting. Actually, I won't tell you which attempt, but this isn't their first attempt. They've had a real challenge with this exam, but part of the program in October, and they've got through. All right. This last sitting, actually, the pass mark was 72.5. It's the highest it's ever been since AKT came. Up until this one, 72 was the highest it was ever set. It's the first time they've ever set the pass mark at 145 out of 200 questions. Okay, but still passed. All right, including fantastic scores for stats and admin. Here's another one. Okay, this is the last one I'm going to share with you. This is someone that they got 90% overall, 92% in the clinical. Again, part of the PGP for the October cohort. Okay, and for them, okay, they just found that it helped to keep them on track. I wouldn't say that this is the best motivation. Their motivation to the daily task was thinking that, they don't want to lose their money. Okay. Look at it as it's going to keep me on track to do the work. But look, it worked. And again, they've got a hectic schedule, kids, and they understood, though, they took on board that this much preparation is needed to pass the exam comfortably, that it's hard work. They had to make it work with everything else. All right. But I just hope that gives you some confidence. These are just fresh. It just happens to be that it's on the same day as orientation. It's not normally like that. That's the only reason I'm sharing these. Okay. But these are just hot off the press, if you like. Okay. So really, any questions? I can see the team have already cleared lots of them, but any others, I will stand back and stay back and clear. Please put them in the Q&A, not the chat. But for anyone that hasn't got questions, just to say again, welcome to the program. I'm absolutely looking forward to working with you, with the whole team, to support you every step of the way. And again, thank you for trusting us. Welcome to the journey. Welcome to the program. Prepare and you will succeed.